Do you really know how to get the most out of your brand relationship inside your salon? Because if you watch the show, you might find some extra bonuses you might not be getting. Stick around. Salon owners are some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. The only problem is sometimes their hearts are so big and they give so much of themselves to their staff and guests that it creates unintended consequences. Our goal is to change the industry by elevating the way the rest of the world sees salons, spas, and barbershops and give it the credibility that it truly deserves. This is the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. Today's podcast is brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. I'm Jason Everett, your host today. And today, I've actually got a friend of mine who's a special guest who actually really has done a lot to help make the High Performance Salon Academy something awesome by just being a supporter and a fan of what we do and just encouraging me over the years. I've known her for a long time. Please welcome to the show, Carolyn O'Connor. What's up, Carolyn? Good to have you on today. What's up?
Hey, everyone. Hey, Jason. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, of course. Well, I love having you on. And, you know, as we've worked together over the last, I don't know, it's probably been close to 10 years now since we've actually met each other and have hung out. I've learned so much about the salon industry from you, and just I'm always inspired by what you and the team over at Redken do, because, you know, I always see you guys as family, because just you guys do such incredible work. And I just feel like of all of the brands and education, we just love what you guys are about. And so I'm excited to have you on today talking about how to get more from your brand relationship. So thanks for being here.
You're welcome. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So
Yeah.
let's get started.
So by the way, I just want to say this as we start. Look, obviously, I'm a fan of Redken and what they do because we worked together for a long time. But I'd love to know in the chat, what brands do you carry inside your salon? You know, and whether you're a Redken salon or you carry any other brands, maybe inside of the other rest of the L'Oreal family, or maybe you're outside of that. I mean, we work with now salons across, you know, Kevin Murphy and Aveda and Wella and all kinds of other brands. And what I want to say to you is that every single brand has a lot of unique benefits, but I want to talk about, Carolyn, like, how is it that people get those benefits? But before we go there, how long have you been with Redken? How did you get into this? Can you give me like a little bit of background so people know a little bit about you as we get into this today?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I'm a stylist. I've been a stylist for over 44 years, and I still hold my husband. Yeah, I still have two clients. I have my mom, who just turned 100, and my husband. So I'm still doing it.
I love it. That's awesome. That's huge.
No, but I've been with Redken for 22 years. And, you know, I've done just about everything in this industry. I've been a salon owner. I've had two salons. I was distributor owner, a sales consultant, sales manager. I love training. And in 1999, I wanted to get back into education because being that I was a salon owner and I struggled all the years just trying to, you know, hire, train, you know, be profitable, I wanted to get into that because I'm so passionate about giving back. And that's why I'm with Redken. And that's why I'm on this show, is we have so much to offer. And I just want everybody to use it because a lot of it's complimentary.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I you know, what I really saw, Carolyn, is as you guys went through and when COVID really hit, like, you know, you guys went into, I think, what your core sweet spot is, which is education, right? You guys went into like, how many free classes can we do and what can we have? And like, you know, I was at your first ever like digital symposium, and like, there were so many cool things. And really too, I mean, I just tell people all the time, like, we love working with you guys because we really did a lot to launch what we do as High Performance Salon Academy, you know, at Symposium, and really have helped a lot of salons there. And, you know, what I'd want to find out, Carolyn, as we talk about this today is, let's talk about education. Let's talk about free education. And I think you've got a couple of things. What are some of the benefits that you guys provide as a brand for people? And what can people like ask their brand, like poke them and be like, hey, can we get more of this? What are some of the things you guys provide?
Well, you just said it, education. I mean, it's the key.
Yeah.
It's the key to everything. You have to be able to educate your staff, educate your teams, yourself. And when COVID hit, we had to go into hyperdrive because obviously we didn't have a very good digital education plan. And all of a sudden, overnight, we were thrown into it. The beauty of Redken is we have 30 full-time educators that every single day do education classes.
That's
three
awesome.
times a day, 6 days a week. We have
Yikes.
provided over 800
Yikes.
in 2021 free complimentary
So
classes
good.
every day. And I know we're going to talk about that. But we also, we're one of the largest brands that can provide so much complimentary education. And, I know that that's what everybody wants is education. And we do it in
Yeah.
Salon, we do it virtual, we do it all kinds of different hybrid ways.
Now,
So it's
and
basically it's asking.
yeah, and here's the other thing too, Carolyn, I want to find out is because I think a lot of times people are like, well, wait, I might not carry Redken, so then therefore not all these classes apply to me. Now, are there classes that people could take? Like, let's say they're not Redken, but they're like, look, I still struggle with these type of problems in my salon. Are there classes that are not specific to Redken color, Redken products?
Oh, absolutely. Every day yes, you might find a brand class like Shades EQ or, our new Color Gels 10, but we also do technique classes like
Mm,
balayage, clipper cutting, design, and then
yeah,
there's our principle-based classes. Think about your new associate or your new level ones that are brand new and they
yeah,
need basic knowledge on principles of hair color, finishing, design. We offer those as well every day, complimentary. They're hour classes. We call them power hours, and you can
yeah.
get them 3 times a day. They're great.
Well, and this is, I think, the thing where, like, again, Carolyn, where I think we're very similar in how we provide education, is that you guys operate off principle-based design. Like, I've worked with Chris Barron for years. Like, he is the principle guy, and like we operate off general principles. I think one of the things that people get hung up in is they're like, look, principles are true in all cases, and once you understand the principles, it's like once you learn to paint by numbers, then you can paint your masterpiece. But you have to learn to paint by numbers
Exactly.
first, right? And I think
Yep.
sometimes people go, well, look. And I've seen this, being in coaching and training for years and years, is there some people that are really good at what they do, but they can't tell you what they just did, right? They're like, well, you got to feel it. Or it's like, it's in your bones. Or Carolyn, you either have it or you don't. And you feel it through your fingers and through your arms. And it's like, well, actually, there's like some principles that you could use that if you like learn those basics, then you can like create anything. And I think that that's what I love
Absolutely.
about how you guys train, at least in my opinion, what I've seen over and over again from, Chris Barron, Sam Villa, Chris Sorby, like the whole posse that I've met over the years over there with you guys in Redken, is that you guys are really good at breaking it down to kind of the earliest phase. But you guys can tell I'm a fan. I'm already, here I am fanboying on you guys over at Redken. But I hope you guys are getting the gist here that this is thing. So how like if they were another brand, they should, number one, Carolyn, it sounds like they should look at like what are the classes available for free from the brand that you work for. And again, you guys have a gajillion classes, but that would be a good hot tip of like figure out what free classes are offered from the brand. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, uh, you can go into any salon centric store or your distributor store. And, if you even try out a new user kit, you get a free class. So you get an in salon class. So,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways. And um, we even have a points program, where
Yeah.
the more you purchase, the more points you get, just like airlines, you can use your points. And if you want to buy a washing machine, we have a place where you can use your points and cash in and buy a washing machine.
That's
But
awesome.
it's uh it's so great. And yeah, no, the technique classes, the business classes, we have business classes for stylists that struggle on retailing,
Yeah.
or
Good.
referral. So
Right. Let's pull
it's
some of these up. I know, Carolyn, you sent me over a link that I can
I
pull up
did.
here. We've got kind of the Redken classes. Like I can kind of give you the educational opportunities. So you guys can kind of see parts of this. Okay, so you've got, just so I get this in here, Redken Exchange. This is where, and I've been out there. It's gorgeous, by the way, a really amazing education center. But you got Redken Exchange for in-person classes in NYC. And I just heard you guys have now opened that up, that all classes are going to be in person and virtual, that you guys now
Yeah.
are hybrid classes, right?
Yes.
So
So
I know
the
you guys
Redken
do.
Exchange is our academy in New York,
Yeah,
and it's beautiful. So you can take the class live if you want to go to New York, or tune in virtually for the class, the whole
that's cool.
entire class virtually. So that's
Yeah.
great.
So you got virtual classes, in person in New York. You can do those, plus Redken Live on Tour, VIP events, virtual hands-on, pillar programs. That's awesome. So, all right. So here's an example. Like this is obviously a Redken Color Gels class specifically. So if you had Redken, then that's a bonus for you. You can check out some of that. And these are all just free, right? So they can talk to their distributor
Yes.
or their rep and figure that out. Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, and then over
Yep.
here, these were the ones you were talking about on the virtual side. I
Yes.
love this. As soon as I scrolled at Carolyn, I was like, holy mother. It's like, okay, so we've got 26,
color
27, 28, 29,
color
30.
correction, principles of hair color,
Yeah.
principles of foil placement. It's like that's a balayage. These are basic classes,
Yeah.
that we teach on, and it's just who wouldn't like an hour of free education on color correction or lighteners or
Yeah.
bleaching and blonding and blow dry and formulation. This is what we provide every day. Like this goes on and on and on every day until December.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
And
all
you
you
can
have
get
to do,
you can download the calendar and stuff too, right?
yeah, the whole calendar's there.
Nice.
And what a great way to supplement your education plan or hey, listen, I have an hour break. Maybe I don't come in until, noon. I could catch a class
Yeah.
and it's complimentary.
Yeah, that's awesome. I totally love it. So let's do this, Carolyn. I want to talk about how to get points figured out, like the point system that you guys use, and what are some other tips? Because I think if you're with another brand and you're trying to figure it out, number one, look for free classes. Look for their webinar channels that they're actually putting out content. Look for the places that they are offering free classes, and if they're not offering free classes, poke your brand and say, "Get off your butt." And especially if they are not offering any sort of digital classes like that, I would hope every brand has got their stuff figured out now. But when we come back,
Yeah.
I want to talk about, Carolyn, maybe some uncommon things that you guys allow people to use points for. Like I love the washing machine example, but like what are some uncommon things that people can use their points on? Because I think sometimes people don't understand how to maximize that. So when we come back, we'll talk about maximizing points. Carolyn, thanks for being here. Everybody else, stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey HPSA listeners, let me ask you this. Are you tired of not knowing what your hair color is costing you on every appointment and watching it chew up your profit? Well, with Salon Scale, we take the guesswork out for you. Using a mobile app paired with a Bluetooth scale, Salon Scale will tell you exactly what your color is costing you on every bowl mix down to the gram. As you mix, Salon Scale will also digitally store your formulas and track how much product is being used in real time, so you can manage your inventory, cover your expenses, and generate more profit in your salon. Use promo code HPSA10 to get 10% off an annual subscription. Salon Scale, the new standard for mixing color.
Welcome back. I'm chatting with Carolyn O'Connor from Redken, and I thought it was no joke as I was watching the video for Salon Scale. I'm like, hey, wait a second, that's all Redken color in the Salon Scale video too.
I saw that too.
Obviously there's some great stuff going on there. We've had a good partnership with them as well. And Carolyn, we were talking before the break. We were talking about, number one is if you want to get a better relationship with your brand, look for all the free classes. Of course, you can pay for classes inside your salon and pay for additional people to come out and do training and do in salons, but there should be a lot of resources for free. I didn't ask you this, but I wanted to find out, Carolyn, and this may or may not exist. If somebody can't make one of those classes, but like, man, that's amazing. Do you guys store those classes anywhere, or do they just repeat regularly? How does that work for like if they have to miss a date specifically?
The free classes that you were just showing, they are repeated usually
Nice.
throughout the week. There's a theme to it. Those are not stored, but any purchase that you make for a hybrid class or a virtual class that there's a ticket to, those are stored and you can access those at any time. So
Yeah.
once you buy the
Nice.
ticket, it's yours.
Yeah, and what I would just say for all of you guys, because we advise people on this a lot, is like if you're building out your associate training program and you're like, man, there's a really amazing class that Redken does, and or whatever your brand is, there's a really amazing class, and you can save that somewhere. We actually advise people to build together like their own virtual training portals, and a lot of people are using some of these really incredible online training systems like Kajabi, or they're using things like we use just a free resource called Trello. You can actually build out your associate program visually and actually store the class in there. So if it's like a Redken class or whatever other brand class you want to store, you store that in there, and when that person hits that level, you can go and watch that class. So to your point, Carolyn, they can kind of save that class on their own and go back and have any new associate watch that class. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. You said there were some uncommon things that people might be able to use points with. I don't know if it can pay for a trip for us to go down to the Caymans, Carolyn, and go on vacation. But what are some uncommon things that we might not be aware of that points might be able to get us?
Well, once you get your points for every dollar spent, there's levels. So there's a bronze
Yeah.
level, a silver, a gold, a platinum, a black
Awesome.
level. So you start accumulating these points, and any education is possible. You want capes, you want bowls, you want brushes, you want gear. That's
Yeah.
available. if you want a TV or a watch or luggage, it's usually on our Level Loyalty site that you
Nice.
can buy these products. One of the things that we really encourage is education, because it's the best value for the points that you're spending, because everybody wants high level education. And some of our global artists like Sam Villa, Braden Peltier, Lori Zabel, Sean Goddard, like these guys are on there to do customized classes
Nice.
for you and your salon. So if you want something out of the ordinary, then you can use your points to buy the artist and then customize your class, whether you want to use that person half day in the morning for your associate and level ones, or in the afternoon for your more advanced. It's up to you.
You
And
can
this is
break it
what's
up.
great about customizing your education.
Yeah.
When you get to the black level, which is an invite, which you're exclusive to Redken, then we build. Redken helps you. We have education experience managers to help you build a very robust education plan. So, we offer in-salon education every day, depending on how many, what your purchase level is, up to, to 1 class, 2, 3, 4, 5 free classes a year.
Awesome.
In your salon, plus all this virtual. So it's a matter of just really utilizing the tools that we have, and asking for help, asking for some resources.
Now, I know, Carolyn, you said that there's you can get to a black level. Who doesn't want to be at the fancy black level? But isn't there like a black elite also? Like, what, isn't there a level above black, or is that part of black?
It's black elite level is the black elite. This is an invite. This is where you're exclusive to Redken. Like, we have parameters where it's $30,000 minimum purchase in our hair color. You're exclusive to Redken there, and $20,000 in retail. So that's a $50,000.
Okay, so $50,000 total between color and retail.
Yep.
Got it.
So, and for that, not only do you get all of what I just talked about, you get 4 classes in your salon complimentary. We also give you free classes on top of that, where we'll give you an exchange virtual program, a pillar program, which is our specialist. We'll give you, I think there's another 4 or 5 classes on top of everything else I just talked about that come to our Black Elite level. And it's all built into this beautiful customized education plan for you in your salon that our EEMs take care of. So it's white glove.
Yeah, I feel like, Carolyn, if I had to say there's one thing that I think you guys are about as a brand, it might be education. Let's be super clear. You're like, do you need some education, or would you like a side of education with your education? I kind of feel like you guys have that pretty much nailed. And I think that's what, that's how I got involved with you guys, was working with the education team, right? Like with you and the rest of the crew over there, is helping train on the trainer level how to give and deliver even better education. Why, in your mind, is education such a big deal? Because, I mean, I think I can go online and I can watch some YouTube videos and get education, but why, from the brand, do you think it's a really big deal? And why do you guys put such emphasis on that part of it?
Well, our whole philosophy, if you've been with Redken, it's learn better, earn better, live best. And in order to live your best life, you've got to learn, and you have to learn to earn. And part of everything we do is the stylist. From the very beginning, Paula Kent and Jerry Redding built this company on education. Did you know that our very first platform educator for Redken was Vidal Sassoon? That was in 1968.
I heard that before. I heard that he was the very first platform educator, and that's so nuts. It's so nuts.
Awesome. And so ever since then, it's like, this is what this company's been built on. It's education. And in order to grow, you have to have the knowledge, and it's one thing just to watch it, maybe we can pick something up, but to really have an education career path. And that's the other thing that we pride ourselves on, that when we partner with our salons, and especially in our Black Elite salons, we build a salon career path so that every person, no matter where they are in their career, has a path personalized to them to get what they need, when they need it, how they need it, so that they can have all the information. Because believe me, I was a salon owner, and I have some veteran stylists that still don't know what the color wheel's all about. So it's a matter of, you have to learn to read and write before you can, build the army. So it's really important.
So, Carolyn, I have a question for you. I'm trying to get a hot insider tip, and I don't know. We'll see if this is a good question for you or not. how do you make sure that you get some of the best educators in there? Because look, as an educator myself, I've been on stage and like I try to give my very best when I'm an educator on stage, but I've seen some educators that are jump on there, and obviously there's not a lot of bad educators in Redken. I mean, I've met lots of them. But how do you make sure you get kind of like maybe a new budding educator, or like, how would you tell a salon owner, here's who you should pick for a class? Like, how do they make sure they have somebody that blows you out of the water? And how can they pick that, whether they're inside of Redken or another network? What would be some insider tips on selecting an educator for a class to make sure it matches what they want and it would blow them away?
So, with we have a yearbook. We have
Nice.
our artist yearbook, and literally, it's built so that if you're looking for something specific, like maybe balayage, it lists all the educators, and it lists everybody from, maybe one of our newer artists to a veteran artist, and here's what we always say: it's right reason, right program, right artist. Let's build the reason first. Why are you asking for this class? Why do you want this class? Then we'll choose the program, because you might be asking for something that's not actually in our menu, but that's okay. We can customize it. Then we'll go after the artist, because sometimes when you shop for the artist first, they have a very set repertoire.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they won't go down. So we really focus on the need, and what does the stylist need? What does your team need? And then we'll go after it. And there's times where, you say, I need motivation. We have artists for that.
Right.
We have artists that can be hired for the whole motivation leadership. So again,
okay. So start with the subject you're going to train on, right? Start with the subject first and figure out who's going to be able to do that. Then when you're picking the artist, any hot tips on making sure you get an artist that you think might match the culture of your salon or the feeling? You have any tips on that one?
That's like, if you're buying from Salon Centric, ask your sales consultant to send you the artist yearbook, because it shows you the picture. Because it's like, I need a green one-eyed monster. Okay, we probably have that, So
yeah.
But no, we want to try to match exactly the culture, the motivation, because we have we call it on the horizon. I think that's what you're getting at. Like, we have a group of artists that you probably don't even know yet. They're on the horizon that are awesome.
Well, sometimes it's like you want to support new talent that's coming in and doing some great things, and like you're trying to find somebody new. Because I hear this all the time, Carolyn, is they're like, we need to see some fresh faces. Because don't get me wrong, everybody always loves the artists that have been around for a long time that do incredible things. But they're like, hey, we just need to hear it from somebody else that's slightly different. And you never know if that new person is going to be like, this is how class will be today. Not that any of your artists are like that, but I'm just saying, like, they can kind of break it down. Or you can get somebody who's kind of on the horizon, to your point, and figure out who's kind of young and upcoming. Any other hot tips on selecting an artist or making sure that you get the right fit for your event?
Let's have a conversation. Like I said, when if you want to reach out to me personally, I'll give you my email address. Reach out to me, and I'll have somebody get in touch with you. But we really,
by the way, if you want her email, type in the word email. Let's see if we can get her to give it out. What is your email? Can I just ask?
CO'Connor@redken.com.
All right. Well, look at that. So yeah, if you do want help, I mean, I don't know that you're going to answer 1,000 emails on who to pick for every event, but if you guys want to reach out to Carolyn, she can at least get you to a good place to help you figure out what your artists are, what they would be. And I think, again, as I've seen kind of the network, it's just fantastic. So.
Well, on this newsletter, if you keep scrolling that you were showing, there's an artist application. Like, we hire 60 artists. Like, right now, our artist talent is about 300. So
I was going to ask, how many artists are you working with right now?
Yeah,
so 300
it's about, and majority of those.
And that's
are
just
a lot
US,
of
or is
talent.
that
No, that's
US?
just US.
Just
No, it's
US.
just
Yeah,
US.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's there's some local people, but then there's some, like I said, we have some amazing talented artists that you may not know, that it's like not a household name yet, but I'm telling you, they're amazing and they're great. As well as our 30 full-time REs. We deploy those stylists into salons every single day. So,
Nice.
one of the things that's coming up is holiday. There's sometimes like you need a little boost in holiday. So one of the things that Redken's doing right now is, if you carry the Redken product, is it's a holiday blitz, where we'll come into your salon for a day, maybe on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and spend the day with you and be the consultant and help get that retail product through the door. So that's available.
Nice. So look, I know, like, you guys, I really wanted to make sure as we go through this, like, I knew we're going to talk about all the cool stuff that Redken does, but I hope that this gives you some inspiration to go and poke some of your brands and just really maximize that relationship. Because, what I've learned is the salons who work on their relationships with their brands get the best white glove service. Now, I know you guys do an incredible job over there at Redken. I know there's some other brands that do pretty decent as well, obviously, but I'm just saying that, like, for you to really look at, how do you get resources? I can't tell you the amount of saloners that I talk to that are struggling and trying to figure it out. And then when I ask them, like, have you reached out to the brand? They're like, well, I'm like, get on the phone and get some freaking education. Even if it's just to get you, Carolyn, some fresh face, some like just some newness to your world, because everybody's kind of been in this lockdown situation of like, I don't know that, we're not doing this and we're not, and the kind of people are reserved right now. Look to your brand to pour out some education. Find ways to become inspired. I mean, I can't tell you, Carolyn, the number of people that I've shown videos of Symposium or the Redken Artist Connection or all that stuff, and they just get so inspired to do what you do. And it's really important, like, as a motivational person myself, right? Like, it is so important for you to stay inspired. So make sure you work with the brand, stay inspired for the brand that you're working with. And if you don't feel inspired by that brand, look into other things and see what else is possible, because I just think it's awesome. Carolyn, final question that I want to ask you. I'm gonna sneak this last one in. What's better, an artist in your backyard or an artist across the country? Is there a better than or anything like that? Does that make any difference? I only have to ask because sometimes people ask me.
I think it's just perception. I have a theory on that. An expert is anybody 100 miles away. You could have an expert right in your backyard, and again, the process to become a Redken artist is pretty arduous. It's 12 days of training, and
intense training.
It's intense. And you know what? I'm pointing at you because you're part of it. You have to go through the Jason training, so it's pretty intense. And so you could have a gem in your own backyard and not even know it. And, again, what are we doing? What's the reason? We'll figure out the program, and then we'll get the right artist to hit the bullseye every time. You just have to reach out and ask. We are probably begging for you to reach out and ask us, because we have so much, and it's people don't know. And so thank you for allowing me to share a little bit of this with everyone.
Well, I know you guys are massively education focused, more than any other brand that I've experienced. So it's a pleasure having you on. Ask your brand about education, inspire people. I know even for my team, they're like, I do education every day, and they're like, can we bring in somebody else besides you, Jason? We hear from you all the time. It's the exact same way. You as a saloner should not have to do every class. Bring in experts from the outside. Carolyn, thank you so much. Again, please email Carolyn. We'll put the link for that education class in the description as well as in the comment section. Carolyn, thanks for being on. Thanks for being so friendly, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Evo Revo podcast. Today's podcast was brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes, at evorevopodcast.com.